Gray and I were both born and raised in Hermosa Beach. And this is basically where he had his first encounter with hot rods. In fact, the first roadster that he really came across was a gentleman across the street had a 32 Roadster, totally cherry vehicle. And they kind of both proceeded to build this car. And I remember the first time they fired it up, and my father came out and, of course, yelled and screamed that the car is making way too much noise. It was probably 10, 11 o'clock at night. Once he got out of college, he really found his niche by working with my father at the publishing company, and worked with a gentleman named Bill Bagnall on The Motorcyclist. And so Bill said, "Gray, you better learn how to take photographs, because you not only are you going to write about them, but you're going to also take photographs of them." Ever since that moment, he became a photographer, and a very good one. My father retired, and Gray, of course, then was out of a job. He was lucky enough to catch on with Peterson Publishing, and Gray's car was that 32 Roadster. He drove that car, and Tom Medley saw the car in the parking lot. And I think he said, if somebody's driving that car to work, he better work for Hot Rod. So this is where he got his big break of working with Hot Rod magazine. Cars were always what he was after, and he would pursue that all the time. He would leave super duper early on Saturday morning, jump into his Roadster, and be off to see all his pals, and would go to their shops to see if they had anything new that on the horizon that he could come back and photograph and write a story about. There was something about Gray. He had that ability to take in a scene, write about it, and it came out so beautifully. It was fun to read. Gray would have been truly proud to have received this award. I don't think he was ever thinking about this when he was doing his work with Peterson Publishing. And it just came about because he did a good job. But he would probably look out to all his hot rod pals and rub his hands together, scratch back of his head and other areas, and say, "This is so fetching." He loved hot rodding. He really did.